Good morning everyone, my name is Gary Spracklen and I am Director of Change and Innovation at the Isle of Portland Aldridge Community Academy. Everything I'm going to share with you today is very much about our journey. It's very specific to us, it's very personal to us, and hopefully there'll just be little snippets that you can take away. Today I'm here to talk about our journey with digital technology and how we use digital technology to engage, innovate and inspire our learners. As a bit of background, we opened as a school in September 2012. We brought together 5 predecessor sites from across the island into one school. We have one DFE number, we have one Ofsted inspection, we have one set of data that we have to report from multiple sites. So in terms of a management information system, it's very important that we had the opportunity to pull all of our different data sets together and have that ability to report from a single central database. We operate a stage, not age approach to education, and I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about what that actually means, but rest assured it adds complications to how we manage data. Furthermore, we operate a schools within schools approach, so our children are all within houses, and as they move up through the school, increasingly they'll work within smaller school groups. That's because we recognise that as an institution with a PAN of 1,800 pupils, an organisation of that size needs to grow smaller as they grow bigger, because we still need to know those children really well and build those really important relationships between teacher and student. We have the rich digital ethos here. Our patron is Professor Stephen Heppel, who many of you may know as a world-leading futurist in education. Professor Heppel is currently chair of the Department for Education's Education Technology Action Group, of which I'm also a member, looking at how technology can be embraced by the education sector to move forward our key goals. So I often go to places and I talk about this and I say, when was the last time you put your employees in this situation? Would I go to Advanced Learning's offices in London and see the office where they put all the 40-year-olds and the office where they put all the 41-year-olds and the 42-year-olds? It doesn't happen in any other environment, but for some reason we think it's acceptable in schools. And I think we believe it's acceptable in schools because it's always been done that way, and because not many people have questioned that status quo. Not many people have actually said, look, how fast can children go if we remove the boundaries, if we remove the barriers and we open up the opportunities? It's that age-old thing about, are you doing it because it's convenient for the institution, it's available, it's convenient for the organisation of running things, or are you doing it for the benefit of the children? One thing that we struggle with at the moment is that the concept of lunchtime. Schools are one of the only institutions or organisations that ring a bell at a certain time and expect everyone to be simultaneously hungry. It doesn't happen in the modern office environments now. People have a lot more flexibility over their time. They can choose when they go for lunch, they can work through their lunch, they can do different things. Yet in schools we ring a bell at 1:30 and we expect everyone to be hungry. And we do that because it's convenient for us, it's good for catering because we can do things in bulk, it works out cheaper. But is it best for learning? And this is what we've not been afraid to ask that question in every context. I'm not here today to say we've got the answers to everything, but we're certainly asking the questions and looking to move things forward. And I think we are living in this period of revolution. I think we will look back in 10 years, 20 years time, and our grandchildren will say to us, wow, you were alive during the learning revolution era, because things are changing. You've only got to go out and experience things like Khan Academy, the way that flipped learning is making an impact for students of all ages, the way that data is now much more rich and much more available, much more live, and everyone's got access to more things. The first strand of this is thinking about leadership, thinking about your senior leaders and your extended leaders in school. And the first question is, do your leaders use technology? Are we setting a good example from the top? Are we sharing our aspirations for how we want to see things working in the classroom? Do they encourage others to use technology? There's that age-old thing, how do they share policies? How do they send out documentation? Are they encouraging people to be collaborative through things like Google Docs, through things like Office 365? Are they asking people to contribute more and more through the use of digital technology? And that can happen in large and small scale organisations. You can model that best practice. Is the use of technology fully embedded into the vision for the organisation? If it's not fully embedded, then you're not going to be getting the CPD time, the resource time, the finances to continually upgrade and refresh and move the agenda with digital technology forward. And finally, how does their vision for technology support and enhance outcomes? If we can't enhance outcomes, why are we introducing these things? It's all very nice to be shiny and to have it there for a bit of fun. But fundamentally our business, our core business as a school, is to improve our outcomes for our students, to lead to better life chances. And there needs to be a clear vision of how that technology is linked to your core business. We believe learning should be accessed from anywhere and on any device for that matter. That's why the purchases that we've made have always been focused around cloud-based infrastructure, because I don't want to pay for something that they can only use in school. I want to pay for things that they can use across any platform. Learning should happen in and out of school, and it should not need to be constrained by traditional time patterns. Interestingly, with the Chromebooks that we've had up at secondary, we've been able to introduce some monitoring tools looking at their use on educational websites, and increasingly our Key Stage 4 tend to access stuff after 10 o'clock at night. You know, that they've done some, maybe they've gone to a club, or they've met with friends and they come home and they want to do some revision. And often we don't provide necessarily that contact with a teacher at that time after 10 o'clock. Maybe there's a role for schools moving forward, controversially, to look at where teachers' time goes. Maybe there should be someone online till midnight to answer questions about revision. Who knows? There is an opportunity to ask those questions. So it's within all of this context really that we've introduced Advanced Learning's Progresso as a tool to support the teaching and learning at school and to support the way that we manage our data across multiple sites. I'm not going to go in great depth about Progresso because my role here today was to introduce the concept of learning without boundaries, being open to ask questions all the time. I would say that when we became an academy in September 2012, we weren't afraid to ask the question, is SIMS the best package for us? Are we getting the most for our money? Are we getting the best system that supports teaching and learning? Are we getting the system that supports that relationship between teacher and pupil right? And that for us is the most important element, those conversations that happen in the classroom. And for us, data should be supporting those conversations.